Hey, what's up, guys? I have a big announcement, and I need to ask for your guys' help. I've been working on something kind of on the side here, a resource for everybody, and I need your guys' help with it. That project is called Universal Greeblie Project, and it is a resource that is a searchable database essentially of props and the part sources as well. So if you're trying to build a prop, you can look for it. You'll get a list of all the parts. It'll say what the source is for that part. You can click on that source. It'll take you to a page for that source and give you more information about that. That other information that it could be, it'll also have a list of other props that use parts from that source. That source, if it's, for instance, like if it's a model kit, it could have kit scans. It could have diagrams, photos of the full complete item that the part comes from. It could just have all kinds of different information. So, and then the same thing for the actual prop itself. It's going to have like a table of contents, essentially, that is a clickable thing. It'll scroll down the screen to the section that you're trying to get to. Reference photos, paint maps, uh, like just like a general like finish map if it's not painted necessarily. So, for instance, like a blaster that's made from a real gun or an MGC or something like that, it could have, the lower is painted black, but the upper is cold blue, and then the trigger needs to be hot blued, and this button, on the sight needs to be hot blued, and the trigger and the hammer trigger needs to be hot blued as well. So, those sorts of details, and the idea is to make this not just Star Wars. It is to be across multiple IPs. So if you have a prop that is, for Ghostbusters or Back to the Future or whatever, you can see the part sources, and if it crosses over to another prop in another IP, you'll be able to see that by clicking through those different part sources. That's kind of the idea. This is kind of a much more robust system than I think we've ever had in our hobby. I've been working on it and kind of testing things and building pieces to this website to get it to the point where I like it. I'm at the point now where I'm willing to put it out there and tell people about it. I'm not quite ready to take submissions, which is the part I wanted to talk to you guys about, needing your help. I'm not an expert on every single prop, believe it or not. I'm just not. But I know many people out there are. There's people that are more into like building ships. And that's going to be its own section. There's a whole. I've set up the data so there's like a filming miniatures section. There's a set pieces section. There's a props section. So there's all these different ways that we can organize this data and cross-link it to each other where it makes sense to cross-link. So I think that it's going to be a really good and powerful resource that's going to kind of be able to bring things in from all these different disparate sources. So we've had the RPF, but if you're trying to find information about Han's DL-44 from A New Hope, well, there's a massive thread on there, which is great, but it's massive. And if you're just trying to get a parts list, it's like 90 some pages, or I don't even know how many pages is it lately, but it's enormous, and it's just a kind of a hassle, I think. So if we can make it so this is just the source of truth, this is where our latest and greatest information lives. It is not conversations. It is not people sharing their builds. It is not meant to replace any of that stuff. This is just where the information about the parts that make up the prop live. You can reference it from people can share the links, and they can be like, okay, this is where I got my information. If something is discovered to be wrong, we update it. It's not a big deal. All right, so what I need, from you guys is, I know a lot of you guys know a lot about different stuff that I know. If you could, and you are interested in this, start making, parts lists of props. If you have reference photos that are good, clear reference photos that you can share. I realize some people can't for whatever reason, NDAs or whatever. Any sort of information. If there's a model kits that have part scans that you can take part scans and it's something you want to do, we can put all this information up on the site under a kit page, just for that kit, and it'll have all the scans in it. We'll list all the parts that are used in other props and which props they go to, and we can link to those pages, and it's going to be a ton of work. It's a long way from being done and fully robust as my vision is seeing it, but I'm hoping that it can be this kind of all-in-one sort of situation that brings in information from the RPF, brings in stuff from White Armor and Astromech and whatever other forums and Facebook groups and websites and whatnot that are kind of scattered all over the place. This is kind of meant to be the new parts of Star Wars, but not just Star Wars. It is going to go much, much wider than that. And that's the thing is, like, I find it a little frustrating, myself doing the research. I mean, part of it's fun to dig, but part of it's frustrating to, like, I know I read this at one point. I can't find it now because it's buried in some thread somewhere on some site or in a Facebook conversation or something like that. Like, I just want a single source of truth. That's all. My vision is the single source of truth for these props. Anyways, let me show you guys the website. It is fully mobile friendly. It is a modern, responsive site. So let's check it out. Okay, here we are. This is universalgreeblyproject.com. Here's the website. This is what it looks like. It's very simple. It's just a search field, and then these little tiles, these little cards down here. These are basically whatever I want to put there. General practice is going to be when there's an update, I'm going to throw those latest updates to be the ones that show up here. But just to show it off a little bit here, if I type in anything that I could do, let's just type in blaster. Hit search or hit return. It's going to bring back results for anything that has the word blaster in it. So all kinds of stuff is going to show up. You can see we've got Luke Bespin DL44, Han Bespin DL44, Han Hoth DL44, Han Hero DL44, Greedo Killer DL44. And this is just what I've entered in so far, and this stuff isn't even fully fleshed out completely yet. It's just test data for me, so I don't even know that it's accurate right now because I just kind of dumped a bunch of stuff in here. But that's kind of what I'm wanting help with, is making sure this information gets to be the most accurate it can be. But to give you an example here of like the cross-linking, so let's look at, let's see, do I have one here that is got information in it? So yeah, here we got Luke's Bespin DL44. It is got the Mauser, the M19 scope. Those are just a couple ones I've entered. I will enter in, I'll click on this. You got the source here on the right hand side. The part name is on the left. I don't have every single part in there yet because like I said, I'm just trying to build this out. Bunch of reference photos, and this is basically as far as I've gotten. I do want to put in things like, like this maybe might have like a paint map or at least information about how the blaster is finished. Is it painted? Is it cold blued? Is it hot blued? Is it parkerized? Is it, what is the finish on each part? So that sort of information I want to have in there. Let's go ahead and click on this MG or M. Oh, I typed that wrong. Typo. See, it's supposed to be MGC, not MCG. Broom handle Mauser. Not going to be a whole lot in here. just a picture of a Mauser right now. I don't have any links on this one. Let's do a different one. We can just search from right here. Let's do lightsaber. We just type in that. And it's going to bring up a bunch of results for lightsabers. So if I click on Obi-Wan Kenobi's hero lightsaber, we can scroll down and we can see I have entered in a lot more for this one. So we got the balance pipe, the grenade, the Hales grenade neck, the Hales grenade wind vane, the Hales grenade frag body, the Graflex clamp, the bubble strip, the Browning booster, armored shank handbill, the Marconi resistors. I pretty much have all those things sourced, except for the last couple I don't. Again, reference photos. This is just some information. This is just information that I had on hand that I could quickly dump in here. I'm going to click on. Let's click on this Rolls-Royce Derwent jet engine. We can see a big picture of this engine here. We can scroll down. We can see the movies that have props that use that, and the props and the name of the part that's used. So we can see that A New Hope, it's Obi-Wan's lightsaber. The part used is a female balance pipe. In Empire Strikes Back, we can see that it's IG-88's head and that it uses the flame tube. So you get the point. Like, we can cross these things. And I don't have all the links set up between these because I haven't even entered in IG-88 at all. So that's just a little thing, to do, but it's a lot of information that has to be input, and then I have to go through and manually add these links. So it's easier if I have the information on hand, and I can just kind of dump stuff in there and then quickly just set up these links. So that's where I need your guys' help, is getting all this information together so I can enter it in, or if I get some helpers that want to do this, they can help me enter this in, and I can show them how to do everything. And then they can go crazy on it too. And then set up all the linking and stuff like that. So just for fun, we can just type in the word Luke, see what comes up. And here we got Luke, his Bespin blaster, his lightsaber. We got a M4 periscope, or M6 tank periscope for an M4 Sherman tank. That's the source for the scope for the blaster in Empire Strikes Back. We got the Han Hoth DL-44 blaster. I'll show you that, the Exactra calculator, because that part is used for Luke's lightsaber in A New Hope. The Graflex 3-cell flash gun comes up because that's the basis for his lightsaber. So let's click on the Han Hoth, and I can demonstrate why that came up. So if you scroll down, you see we got the list of parts, what little I've entered in so far, reference photos. So we got reference photos, lots of references. This last one has got a picture of Luke in it. And if I right click on it and I open it in a new tab, I can see that tab is named Luke Hoth. So when you search, it's not just searching where the website has it typed in, it's searching file names as well. So if I have an image named Luke Hoth, or Luke anything, it's going to pull it. It's going to say, hey, Luke appeared in this. It's a result. So it's a pretty robust search engine. Another thing I want to demonstrate real quick is sharing. So you can just come up here to the URL bar and highlight that, copy, paste into wherever you want it to go. If you wanted to say, share something specific with someone and you're like, hey, I want you, we're talking about this thing. Here's where I got my information. You say, we're going to click on this. You can click on the table of contents in the sidebar over here, or you can click on the table of reference right here where it's right below parts list. Either of these, parts list and reference photos, are going to scroll you down to their respective section. And as we add sections, those table of contents will grow. But now you can share this with the reference photos. So it's going to, if you share that link with somebody, it's going to scroll them down the page to that section automatically. I can't make it go to a specific photo, but I can make it go to the photos section. if that makes sense. So, or if there's a paint map section or a kit scan section, we can do that. So yeah, that's it. I want to demonstrate that there are 3 URLs for this. There is universal Greeblie.com. You can hit that. It will redirect to universalgreeblyproject.com. And just because I'm a nice guy, I bought another domain that's just very short and easy to type, because Universal Greebly Project is long and Universal Greebly is long. So I also bought ugpro.us. That's the shortest one I could get. The .com was taken and they wanted like $20,000, and I'm like, I can't do that. So ugpro.us, and it just redirects to universalgreebly.com. Your share links are always going to say universalgreebly.com. So, and then I can also demonstrate that it's mobile friendly here. So it's totally, mobile friendly. You can click on any of the ones here and it'll just take you to that post. You can see how it looks there. You can click on props and it'll just take you to a page that's just got a list of all the props that have been entered. There's going to be one that's just for part sources. There's going to be one for just like set pieces, etc. And I'm working on some movies pages as well. There's a contact page, but there's nothing on it. So just ignore it for now. Once I'm ready to take submissions for information, which ought to be soon, I will have contact information up there. I'll make a video to put it out there. I'll put it up on probably the RPF and Facebook groups and whatnot. Put the word out there all over the place for people. So there's a YouTube thing you can click on. That'll take you to the YouTube channel for this project specifically. Nothing there. I've not created a video for it. I just set up the channel and just in case I need it. I think that there's also there's a Star Wars page. I built a bunch of different pages trying different things, but they're not all going to make the cut, so they're not in navigation currently. So there's also going to be a blog, and right now it's just got a bunch of like test data junk in there. Eventually, I think I might put a blog post up when there's a new prop found or something like that, or if there's a big development on a prop where some new part has been discovered. I might make a blog post about that. But other than that, you don't expect much from the blog. Post is the exact same thing. Contributors. So I do think I might put up a page, or I have a page already for contributors. So this would be mainly for the people that are editing the site. So if you're trying to reach someone to say, hey, I've got information, I've got this reference information for sharing with the community, these would be the people you could reach out to get that information up on the website. That's kind of the idea for the contributors page. It's not so much we're the people, it's more of it's kind of a glorified contact page, it's a way to reach out to somebody maybe specifically about a certain area of the hobby, like somebody who's really good at studio scale models, someone who's good at handheld props, maybe specifically these props, that sort of stuff. You might already know this person, that sort of thing. Oh, I'll just reach out to so-and-so, and be like, hey, what about this, blah, blah, blah. And then they could be like, oh, great. I'll throw this up on the site, or I'll tell somebody. So anyway, that's it. That's the site. All right. So that's the site. That's the idea. That's the project. What do you guys think? I'm going to throw all 3 URLs, Universal Greebly Project, Universal Greebly, and ugpro.us all down in the description, so you guys have all three. If you feel like sharing this video, that'd probably be helpful to people. Get the word out. People can start gathering the information for me. So once I'm ready to actually open the gates, I can start plugging in information as fast as I can. Unfortunately, I don't feel like we're going to be able to do certain IPs very well. We're not going to be very well represented, just because a lot of their props are just manufactured items. Like, I'll give you Lord of the Rings, which is one I love, but that stuff is custom. It's not, for the most part, isn't found items. There might be like background stuff like cups or something like that that is a found, or like a found part. But for the most part, the swords, the armor, the all that stuff is custom sculpted and made, for those movies. It's not just something somebody dug out of a junkyard or something. So, unfortunately, those things might be a little light on the side, but it's not that they get any less love from us. It's just, it's not really the thing we do at Universal Greeblie Project. So, let me know what you think of the site. Let me know what you think of this, the idea, if you have information, and I will get it up on the site as soon as I can. I have to do a lot of stuff all the time, so I'm like working a full-time job, building stuff, making videos of that, editing those videos, putting those up, the blog, now this. So can be stretched thin sometimes. I am trying to carve out time for this at night, which is not too hard for me to do, because it doesn't make a lot of noise. Like, I can't be doing power tools and stuff late at night because I'll wake up my fiance. So, but working on the computer, it's pretty quiet. So I'm going to try to get progress on this often. Maybe not a ton of progress every day, but try to chip away at a little bit every day. So anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video.